Hey everyone! Today's video is a special request from Sunna of Sundaughter Knits for her Salem Slouch hat. She is a little under the weather and her voice is a little messed up, so she asked me to create this video on how to do the iCord for her Salem Slouch. So the first thing that you need to know about iCord is that your yarn, your working yarn, should always be coming from the last stitch. We just finished our decreases, which you more than likely worked magic loop in the round. So our last stitch on this back needle has our working yarn. There are two different ways you can work this iCord. You can either work it on your circular needles, or you can work it on a set of DPNs. The DPNs is my favorite way, but I'm going to show you both ways in this video, starting with the long circular cord method because it's already on there. So the first thing that we need to do is make our working yarn stitch the last stitch of the needle. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to take the needle that it is on and we're going to pull it long. And we are going to put all of these stitches on the same needle. Okay, so we have our working yarn is coming from our last stitch of the round. So what we're going to do is get our other needle up here. And we are going to work the first stitch of the round. So we're working it, and what's going to happen is it's going to pull this working yarn from the last stitch up to the first stitch and make a circle. That's basically what iCord is. It is creating a very small circle. So we worked all 3 stitches. So the next step is, so this is our first stitch of the needle where we have the working yarn. That's not what we want. We want it to be the last stitch of the needle. So what we're gonna do is take our needles and we're gonna pull it long again, and we're gonna take all of these stitches over to the other needle, which makes our working yarn stitch our last stitch once again. And then we're gonna knit it. And you're just gonna keep doing this over and over. You're gonna knit all 3 of these stitches. Oop. This is so finicky, like being on the other side of the camera trying to work these stitches. So work all 3 of the stitches, and then we're gonna pull them all to the other needle again. And this will keep these stitches working in the round, creating a circle. So I am going to work this one more time on these long circular needles. Okay, worked all 3 of them, and then pull the needle long to send them all to the other needle. So you're just gonna keep on doing that. And now I'm gonna show you how to work these on the DPNs. So you'll just simply want to slip all of these stitches over to a DPN, and you can get rid of that long cord, making sure that your working yarn is coming from that last stitch and not your first stitch. We got our other DPN here. So work all 3 of them. Oh, this is much easier. Work all 3 stitches, and then you're gonna slide them to the other side of the needle. That way we can make our last stitch the stitch with the working yarn. And just keep doing that over and over again. I found that in order to make things like a complete circle, it's always best to keep this first stitch pretty tight while you're working the next stitch. And that'll keep from having like a gap on the other side where the yarn comes across. So we're gonna do it again. Slide all of the stitches to the other side and work all 3 of them again. And you're just gonna keep following the pattern, doing that until the top of your hat reaches the length that you would like. And when you've worked enough iCord, the amount that you would like, you're gonna slide your stitches to the other side. And to bind off the hat, you are going to make a centered double decrease. And the way we do that is by slipping the first 2 stitches knitwise together, not separately. You wanna do them together as one, just like that. And then you're gonna knit the next stitch. And then you're gonna take those first 2 stitches that you slipped and together, you're gonna take them up and over that first stitch and off the needle. And give it a little tug. And now you're just gonna cut your yarn and pull it through and sew in your ends. And there you go. That is how you work the iCord portion of the Salem Slouch.